Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Briggs. I'm with Strata, Texas. Welcome to the Briggs and Mortar Heights Facebook Live Tips Tuesday. And I'm excited about who we have today with us. We have Dominique Cousin. Now, she is the co-owner, CEO, and executive director of In-House Chefs. Yay! Welcome, Dominique. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me.
Yay.
I'm
Okay.
super excited.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, as far as you mentioned that I have lots of different titles, the biggest thing about me is I happen to be married to the chef. So I have my own personal perks. Obviously, I get what I want when it comes to food. But we have two kids together. One is going to be 10 next week, and I have a 5-year-old, and that is our reason, our why for what we do, right? But for us, it's interesting on how we even got into this business in the first place. My background has always been business. I've got 2 degrees, and my husband, Chef Adrian, who I call him, he decided food was his passion. And service is what we've done always, whether it's in our church, our community, we've continued to always want to serve. And so what better way to blend our talents and our forces together is when we created In-House Chefs. So it's been something we've been doing for the last 8 years, exclusively for the last 5. And it has been a journey that we've enjoyed, and we love doing it together. That's what makes
love it. Oh my gosh, your meals, I can only imagine.
I always say they're very much created with love. And what makes us really, like another little tidbit is one thing that he loved is when he was working in food was always like, it's always the same stuff. And he's like, I want to be able to create something new, unique. So, and I've been a person who just an innovator and always a thinker. So we're like, why not?
I love it. I love it. I get the meal planning, just the meals, playing with it, the food. Oh, I'm a foodie, so I love it. Well, tell everyone about In-House Chefs. Like, what is it?
What is it? So we consider ourselves a private chef with catering services, meaning you really are getting exclusive insight to a chef who is well-versed, many accolades under his name of who he's trained with, who he's been in service with. And it's a really cool experience because his mind just thinks differently than others and creates based on your palate, based on your needs, based on, your event style. And it's all very much customized. So he comes in and he does what he does for your type of events. And whether you just want something very exclusive, or if you have a very large event that you're just saying, I need some good food for the masses, that's when all of our other sous chefs and our servers come in play. So it's kind of get best of both worlds.
I love it. So you do events, personalized chefs. You're going to someone's home, you create that menu with them, and he comes in, whips it up, puts it in containers, gets you ready for the week if needed, right?
Yeah. And it's not just that either. So that's on the personal private chef on a regular basis. You're right. You're too busy. You want to come in and you just want to have food ready for you. That's exactly what we do. But there's another side of what we do when it comes to events, that if you are having a birthday, anniversary, girls' night out, or night in, guys' night in, that we create based on your vision of what you'd like. We create that menu specifically for you, bring in the right servers that need to serve it, and we cater to you in that way, where it's just exclusive, whether it's a small, intimate party, mid-size or large, and that's really what he brings your vision to life. The other thing is what we do is if you have clients or you have associates that you want to show appreciation to, same thing, we customize that, whether it's a seminar, weekend event, we come in and do that all.
I love it. Well, that kind of goes into, the next thing I was going to ask you about is your events. I mean, share some events with with us, and and personalized service. I know we were just talking a little bit about it, but
Mhm.
kind of share some stories or something.
So it's funny that I had an interesting client, sweet as can be, and it was a very elaborate. She had a lot of clients. She was doing a huge fundraiser in her home, and it included, we had bartenders. It was, very, large home for sure. It's beautiful, and she just wanted everyone to not have to lift a finger. And so we had a carving station. We had a lobster, sushi station. So you had fresh seafood. You had fresh beef that's being carved right then and there. We had heat lamps, and we had a dry ice, display where we had some different shellfish. That's what they wanted. And it was all sitting out on dry ice. So you got the smoke kind of going. And then we put a little food coloring in there. Mm-hmm. And it was a really well done event.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And we had food on different floors. So like it was every floor you had some type of food to have. There's a lot of our clients, have events like that. But it's also just a simple, hey, I'm having a wine tasting and I want 6 different wines and I want a different appetizer, something to go with it.
Right.
Chef goes in and he pairs it with the wine. So that's a lot of fun too.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so what else? I want to share more about, okay, so you have the personalized service, you have the fundraisers, or you go into people's homes, they can do the little parties. What does it look like to have a girls' night in? Like, what is that?
Girls' night in. Well, again, it's what I love it. It happens a couple different ways. We've had girls' night in where they want to do some cooking lessons, learn from the best, and let's go ahead and put an apron on. Let's get our hands dirty while we drink wine or other beverages at your leisure. And he goes through a lesson, and it might not even be accurate. Let's be honest. And it's okay. Then it is, you guys go ahead, have some wine, have more cheese, cracker, whatever, and fruit. He will finish it off, cooking it, preparing it, and then plate it for all the ladies that's at the house.
Oh my God.
And as he continues, that's one way. The other way is, hey, we've got several different wines, and there's all different types of foods that he has already, made ahead of time with your guests in mind. Every consultation is done with, what do you like? What do you don't like? What do you want to feel? What is your intention? Things to stay away from, things that you like as a must based on your relationship with your guest that's there. He prepares it all, and then he goes through where the wine's from, where the food is from, what's the origin, what was the basis behind it. So it's a little education, but you're really having a lot of time. And by the time you're done, you drink a lot of wine. So
right, because at the end of the day, when you have your friends over, you're having a glass of wine, especially if you're having 6 different tastings, you're eating, of course, in between. Yes. You can't help it. Just have, you're drinking six different wines.
Yes. So it's a fun night in. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. We always, we have the friend that likes, wants more than just a 3-ounce pour when it comes to tasting, right?
Correct. That is someone else's responsibility. But yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys, if you are just joining us, my name is Michelle Briggs. I'm with Strata, Texas. We are here with Dominique Cousins. She is the co-owner, CEO, executive director of In-House Chefs. Now, what we just got through talking about, is we talked about what is In-House Chefs. So it's a personalized catering service, personalized service. If you want Chef Adrian to come in and meal prep for you, he'll do that. Have the consultation if you are having the girls' night in, if you're having a fundraiser in your home, if you are a not-for-profit that's putting together a fundraiser, talk to Dominique, have a conversation with her and see what it looks like. You guys, I always say that, see what it looks like, because it takes time, and that's it, to learn more, right? So hashtag chef below. I always have a call to action, Dominique, in all of my Tips Tuesday. So the call to action today is hashtag chef. And when you put hashtag chef below, I will have Dominique reach out to you directly. So call her, have fun creating that menu. Let her know what you're looking for in your event, what you're out to create, right? For you, for your guests, for you, all that fun stuff, right, Dominique?
Absolutely. I mean, if it's an anniversary, birthday party, I don't care if it's a wedding or especially corporate for your clients. If it's something along those lines, we enjoy doing that. That is exactly what I love about it. I'll tell you one more story if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
So for a lot of like our corporate clients, when they are doing an event, whether it's team building, a seminar, you've done a great job this year so far, and especially as things are opening back up, they want to show that appreciation. Or if you've got clients that you're like, hey, here's how much we think about you, and doing something special like that, they enjoy it because we are thinking about your event. What do you want those clients or your employees to feel when they're at your event? And that's huge. It's not just about feeding them and putting food in their mouths. You can get that from anywhere. But when it comes to starting from, beginning to end, and it's good quality food, and you're making sure that like, okay, how are they going to feel about this? Okay, if it's a long seminar, let's not do heavy food, right? Let's make sure that there's something light. Let's think about what's going to get their brain working for that day. All those questions and all those little things that I just said, that's what we think about before we even begin to put your menu on paper.
I love that because it does make a difference. I mean, the feeling that you put in, because trust me, I'm sorry. I was just thinking about it when you were talking. It is different when you're coming into an employee appreciation lunch or meeting, and you walk in, you have the box lunches with the wrap sandwich, the cookie, and the bag of chips, right? Mm-hmm. Then having an actual chef come in, cater, depending on how far you want to go, you could have a carving station, like whatever that is. I mean, I don't know if that may be too heavy, but you get my point in the sense that you can really create the feeling behind it and what I mean, because you want a wow factor, especially for an employee appreciation. You appreciate them. I mean, I don't know if I would feel completely appreciated if they threw me a box lunch.
No, that's not the same. It's really not. So if you're looking for that, that's what we do. And for those that, just like what you said you're a foodie. Mm-hmm. Food, I always tell people, a lot of times, any event that you have, they will have a comment on food.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it does not matter if your guests paid money or didn't. They will have a comment about the food. And you could spend all your time on decor, which is important too. Mm-hmm. But truly, if your food is awful, it could like destroy all of your hard work that you put into it.
It's so true. It's so true. Look, when my husband and I got married, we got married in Fredericksburg, Texas. Uh-huh. And, you have to use the local, people. Mm-hmm. And we got a wedding coordinator because we're not from Fredericksburg. And my husband are known as being foodies. And there's no way that we were going to have bad food at our wedding. Like, no way. So literally the bulk of our expense in our wedding was for the food. It was for the food and people, they talk about it. They remember it. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really super important.
Yes, it is when your food, like, I mean, I'll tell you the story about a client we had where we didn't end up doing their wedding. It was years before. And she was celebrating her 10-year anniversary. And she said, but we loved our food so much. We really want someone to recreate our wedding menu.
Okay.
So one that tells you that whoever they used before was good. It was memorable, right?
Right.
And so it was a 6-course wedding menu that she had. Wow. We recreated it. Nice. And served it to her and her family, intimate party. And when she said, it was better than what I remembered. Like, it was. And I think that is huge when someone can say that about your food. So sorry, my dogs are coming in. So sorry about that.
That's okay. I got mine. Mine's everyone. Look, I've done many Tips Tuesdays where Bo has just gone crazy, and I literally have my mouse like sitting on the mute button because it's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. We all have our fur babies.
Yes.
It's all good. All right. Well, Dominique, I love what you're sharing with us. So what makes you different from any other caterer that's out there?
I would say that it really has a lot to do with the time, the consultation of what I do. Our business is really structured in such a way where Chef Adrian does what he does best. He creates the menu for you, specifically with you in mind. And that's his whole main focus, is making sure that the food is prepared from beginning to end. What my focus is obtaining the information. So I get all of that information, the consultation from any event. Now, if you I know what I want, this is what I want to do with it. Absolutely, we accommodate that too. Right. But for those that are, just as you said, foodies, they care about food, whether it's for their personal, for a client, for employees, whatever it is, we have that conversation. What is it that you want to feel? What is it that you want your guests to feel? What do you want them to take away? There's some events where the food is not number one. That's okay. I don't want to take away from your event. It's your event.
Right.
We customize everything from the timing of things. If you're like, oh, I kind of want to do this different, like outside the box, great. I can't tell you how many weddings that it's like, that's not the traditional way you do weddings. Doesn't matter. It's not the traditional way you doesn't matter. We customize it based on your venue, based on location, based on your resources that you have access to. We come in and do all of that. So there's so much more that we take outside the realm of, I need food showing up at this time.
Right.
Well, that doesn't really do a lot for anybody.
Yeah, there is so much more to it. I mean, there really, really is. And if you have someone that comes in, and I didn't ask this of you earlier when we were preparing for this.
Yeah.
Now, when someone says, okay, Dominique, you're the one, I want to use you, do they have an opportunity for a tasting?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So, yeah, absolutely. So when you do, so there's some, once they get to know us, they know exactly what we do. They get to the point where like, nope, I'm good. Let's go for it. When we do a tasting, absolutely. We schedule it. You come to either our location or we come to you, and we truly sit it out and we start talking about putting the meat on the bones of your event just to make sure it falls in line. We do have a fee for that, but again, by doing so, it is making sure we go through every detail, go through every contract based off of that.
Well, food costs money.
It does, yeah.
So I get it. Like I get it. Like we paid for our tastings just because I understand it's time Chef Adrian has to prep for it, and you have to buy the supplies for it, the provisions. So that is the reality of when you want something that really does evoke emotion from your guest.
Absolutely. But majority of that fee goes towards your final balance anyway, once you've signed on and you've chosen your chef for the event. So
hey, oh well, that's good to know too. Wonderful. Well, every Tips Tuesday, we always invite our guests to share a tip for Tuesday. So what would be your tip for everyone that's watching today?
My biggest thing is whenever you are planning for any event, occasion, always look at it from a guest perspective.
Okay.
If it's about you, then it's about you. But if you are wanting your guests to enjoy, and that's from decor, lighting, music, whatever that ambience with that food, you want to come in from a perspective of how you want your guests. When I do a consultation on site, I come through the door and I look at it from, this is the first thing I'm seeing. This is, what am I doing when I'm sitting down? What time of day? Am I hungry yet? Because have you fed me? Have you offered me a drink?
I love it.
And there's event planners. I'm a food planner. And that's how I treat it, as I'm your coordinator for all things food.
Jealous. Okay.
And then I taste test for you. So your event is good.
I love it. Well, if you ever need a tester,
yes. You'll see a we're hiring sign.
Exactly. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, my name is Michelle Briggs. I'm a residential realtor with Strata, Texas. Dominique Cousins. I said I was going to say that. Dominique Cousin.
Just fun.
CEO, exactly. CEO, co-owner, executive director of In-House Chefs. Rewind, go to the beginning and learn a little bit more about her company and the catering business. If you are watching this on YouTube, subscribe below. Instagram, Facebook, I always say follow me. All you have to do is search RELTR, the number 4, the letter U, because I am the realtor for you. All right, you guys.